Hello everybody, my name is Johnnysigs. You can call me the Suit if you like, or just Suit if you're feeling extra lazy. And today we are actually going to be looking at Lesson 2, Part 1, and that's going to be how to last hit creeps and deny creeps. This is going to be one of the most fundamental skills that you're going to want in lane, and really just something that you need to learn how to do. So we're going to go ahead and just get everything set up, which I should have done before, and I apologize for that, but I am a noob. So I need a second to get ready here. Alright, let's go ahead and jump on over to the game. Now, the first thing is you're going to notice when you start playing Dota 2 is I need to turn down the volume, and that's probably going to be one of the first things you need to know. Alright, the second thing you're going to need to know is that casting spells is a huge drain on your mana pool. So you can see that I have a 300 and something mana pool, and my skills cost 100 mana each to cast. Boom, I cast my spell, I had a third less mana. Your mana recharges a lot slower than in other MOBAs, and your mana packs, your clarities, recharge your mana, but if you take any damage, it could be a point of damage, your mana restoration stops. So you got to be careful of that. When you do use mana, you lose it pretty fast. So let's go ahead and just port into lane. There is the timer start. And we're going to go into safe lane, or bot lane, just for this demonstration, just because we want to be next to our tower and keep it nice and safe against our non-existent enemies. So your creep wave will spawn, and your creep wave is going to have 3 melee creeps and a ranged creep to begin with, and they're just going to go ahead and trot along, and we'll talk about body blocking creeps in another video, but for right now I just want to focus solely on last hitting. I want you to just get your mind wrapped around last hitting. So for last hitting, you don't ever really want to waste skills to last hit. I mean, there's a couple of times where you're going to want to do that, and that's called the pushing phase, but we'll talk about that when we come to it. For right now, you want to focus on last hitting. So how do you last click, or you last hit? For enemy creeps, you just simply right click on them once they get down to a certain amount of life. You go ahead and if you're not a noob like I am, you can go ahead and pick up that gold from the last hit. And that's the most effective way to prevent your lane from pushing out. If you just auto attack all day, like, I mean, yes, and I mean you can burn skills and just push your lane out as hard as you can. We're going to demonstrate that right now. It also becomes effectively harder to last hit, but what happens is your lane gets pushed out. And what does this mean? Well, before, when the creeps were fighting about here, we have a very short distance to run to get to our tower to stay safe. There's a path in the woods that'll keep us safe. So it prevents mid lane and top lanes and roamers and gankers to come down and kill us, because we're really close and nice and safe and cozy next to our tower. When we're out this far, after having just free auto-attacked and burnt skills on killing creeps, look how far we have to run if we are in an unfavorable position. That's such a long distance to cross now. So the first thing is you're going to want to stay away from last hit, or from just auto-attacking, burning skills. You're also out of mana, so you really don't have an escape now. You're going to want to focus on just last hitting creeps. Alright. Another useful thing that you can do to rob your opponents of XP and just frustrate them to no end is called denying your own creeps. You're going to deny them of half the XP of the creep, as well as all gold from the creep. So what you do is you wait, hit A for attack, and then you left click. And if you're good, that little marker will pop up and it says denied. Now, what does a deny do? It does exactly what I just explained it. It kills the creep You kill your own creep, and this is the major difference between this game and League of Legends. You can kill your own creeps, and again, it robs the opponent of half the XP that creep would give them, as well as all the gold that creep would have given them had they killed it themselves. So ideally, you should be focusing on denying enemy creeps and last hitting, or denying allied creeps and last hitting enemy creeps, and that's going to be just the one thing I want you to take away from this video. Last hit your own creeps, deny enemy creeps. If you're good, and in the ideal situation, you and your opponent will be fighting over the same creeps. Now you can see that I've been denying and last hitting only. I haven't been burning skills, I haven't been auto-attacking, I've just been denying my own creeps and last hitting enemy creeps, and already the lane has been pushed closer to my tower. I'm feeling a lot more secure. There's a lot less routes for them to gank. If I'm up here, they can come up through river, they can come up from this little pass, they can come up from all the way back here, but when I'm about this close, and honestly you want it to be as close to this tower as you can, they can only really gank you from back here, or they can make themselves visible from right here. So it becomes increasingly difficult for enemy heroes to gank you. So again, this is just a really short video. This is just, again, just an intro video on how to last hit. You're not going to want to do auto attacking, which is just right clicking continuously on creeps. You're going to miss last hits. You're going to push your lane out too far. You don't want to waste mana on creeps. You're just going to not have it for when you need it the most, and you're going to push out your lane past the point of safety. Now this is exactly the same situation in top lane. You want to try to keep your lane pushed out as effectively as possible, and the best way to do that while in the suicide lane is up here in the suicide lane. And we're going to go ahead and die here probably. Yep, we're going to die. That's what I get for not paying attention. But you're going to go ahead and in the suicide lane, the way to keep the creeps, your creeps, closer to your tower and the enemy creeps closer to the tower is by last hitting your creeps and last hitting enemy creeps. As opposed to last hitting your creeps, you can actually start attacking creeps as soon as they're at half life. And regardless of when you start doing this, even if the creep dies to an enemy hero, you're still going to be pushing your lane out so much harder. Alright, like right like this. I'm getting messaged by the Dota community, and I mean the Reddit community. You guys are awesome. High fives to everybody on Dota. But just for me being here for just moments and auto-attacking my own creeps who are below half-life, I've already pushed this lane out to underneath my tower. And again, I feel so much more comfortable here. If I'm up here attacking at their tower, they can gank me from here, they can gank me from here, they can gank me from their own tower even, because honestly, it's such a far run back. They can come up from river all the way behind me, and that just ends unpleasantly for everybody. But if you just auto attack your own creeps and last hit your the enemy creeps, you'll push the lane out fairly comfortably to your own side. And now you said, I did say that before, there's a time to be pushing out your lane, and that's called the pushing phase. That's when there's nobody visible in your lane. You know for a fact, say there's 4 people bot lane and 1 person's still mid, or even if 4 people are bot lane and there's 1 person missing, you can go ahead and just start casting spells and auto attacking creeps and pushing the lane out just so you can start to get that tower damage on it, or start getting damage on the enemy towers. So there's a time to push and there's a time to play conservatively. Most of the time, as a beginning player, I would suggest playing conservatively. You're going to get a lot more gold. You're going to stay safe. You're not going to die as much. Everybody wins. Everybody's happy. And then in mid lane, it's slightly different yet again. So we're going to go ahead and buy a town portal scroll. And we're going to port to mid lane. So mid lane is slightly different in that you, again, mostly want to focus on last hitting. If you're mid lane with a non-item dependent hero, like Leshrac, you can focus on just denying your own creeps. This will devastate item dependent heroes. They won't have any gold. They're going to be behind in levels. So if you focus your energy on just denying your own creeps, you'll be set. And then just focusing on last hitting your own creeps, it'll push the lane out just a little bit towards your tower. But really, you want to try to focus on just denying. You don't really want to push your lane out too hard by dropping your creeps down at half life and just dropping them down. But the major difference in this lane comparative to any other lane is that there is a height disadvantage. All right, when you're in the river, there's these little steps, and when you auto attack up these steps, you have a chance to miss attacks. Right there, miss. So you got to focus on that. If you're trying to last hit, try not to be in this gully. You're going to want to be up here. But now you're incredibly unsafe. People can gank you from over here. They can gank you from over here. They can gank you from river. And they can gank you from either side of here. And even the enemy hero can gank you. So you don't really want to ever be up here. You want to be on the other side of the riverbank, which means you don't want to be pushing out your lane too much. You want to be about here and being able to last hit and deny enemy creeps. This is the safe place. This is good to be. You're, again, super close to the tower. So, again, if you can take away anything from this video, I want it to be these two things. One, deny enemy creeps if your opponent is more item dependent than you are. That should be your focus, which means that you and your opponent will be fighting for the same creeps. That is the ideal situation. And then the second thing is stay close to tower. Tower is safe. You're going to be safer from ganks when you're closer to your tower. You're not going to die as much. You're not going to feed as much. And you're probably going to do better in the game in general when you're able to farm up without having the threat of dying every 10 seconds. So this was just a quick review of lane safety. Again, this is Suicide Lane. This is incredibly unsafe for the Radiant side, but incredibly safe for the Dire side. This is Safe Side for the Radiant, and Suicide Lane for the Dire. So again, safe for the Radiant and unsafe for the Dire. And mid lane is just kind of it's a safe zone. You're fine there because, again, you're super close to a tower regardless of how far you roam out. I mean, even if you go up to here, coming back here isn't nearly as far as it is in any other lane. So again, if you're new to the game and you're not really sure where you want to be, go for mid lane or safe lane. Safe lane, again, being top lane if you're Dire, safe lane if you're bot lane on the Radiant side. So that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm glad the servers are up. I'm going to go ahead and jump into a game and start streaming. I was asked this on my YouTube channel. Why do I stream on Own3D? I hate Own3D. I dislike their format. And I'm going to be switching over to Twitch as soon as possible. So for today and probably Friday, I will be streaming on Own3D until I get the time to set up my account on Twitch. And then there'll be a video describing where you can go ahead and look me up on Twitch. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I always click that button, and I really should stop doing that. If you're watching this video on YouTube, please, please, please click that like button and subscribe. It shows me that you guys are interested and care and want to see more content, which will give me incentive to release new content on a regular basis. Hopefully there is a patch tomorrow, Thursday, and I will be going over that video separately as to my normal videos. The servers are up, so I will catch you guys in a game. Take it easy.